Well, a very good afternoon to you. Thank you for making time to join us this afternoon. Now we have, of course, a lot on the bulletin ahead. My name is Mariam Wacharo. Now, we can start with the Kenya University's staff union claims that the cause of financial constraints in the institutions of higher learning is massive corruption and mismanagement of university resources. The union is accusing the Vice-Chancellor of Kisii University of gross misappropriation of funds and want the government to suspend him, as well as the institution, or rather institute a special financial audit on the university.
The Vice-Chancellor of Kisii University, Professor John Akama, PhD, has even gone ahead and a court order that had given conservatory orders on all employees purported to have been declared redundant and therefore refusing to pay them their salaries. This blatant contempt of court orders, arrogance and impunity must stop. In fact, the information available indicates that Kisii University alone has pilfered more than 66 million shillings, and the larger part of this money has allegedly been used for students' field supervision and teaching practice during the COVID-19 pandemic lockdown. You know, one wonders, during the lockdown, which schools were operating? Which students were on field attachment and teaching practice to be supervised?
Matatizo ambayo yanakumba vyuo vikuu nchini Kenya si mata wafanyikazi, ati wingi wa wafanyikazi kama jinsi inavyotolewa katika mijadala tofauti tofauti na watu kujiliwaza ati wanasuluhisho kuengua wafanyikazi ndio suluhisho lao. Vyuo vikuu leo vinaathirika kwa sababu ya matatizo ya ufisadi, na mafisadi hawa wapo, na wengine tumewapeleka serikalini kwenda kuwashtaki kwa vyombo ambavyo vinahusika. Ifuatilie vyuo vikuu vinadorora kwa sababu ya uongozi mbaya. Akama naye pia naye ametoka, ameenda kwa serikali, amesema kwamba chuo kikuu kuna matatizo ya kifedha. Suluhisho, waengue wafanyikazi. Yaani kama akamue chuo kikuu cha Kisii, maziwa anywe yeye mwenyewe, halafu atakapata matatizo awe ni mfanyikazi ambaye hakushiriki katika kazi hiyo.
Now, at least 15 traders from Makadara Estate in Athi River, Machakos County are counting losses after fire razed down their property in a midnight fire. Residents died of the sluggish response from fire engines that were drawn from Kajiado County as they arrived at the scene on time but had not enough water to put them, causing several families to spend their night in the cold. Athi River Sub-County Police Commander George Kashimiri, who confirmed the incident, revealed that no injured as investigations into the cause of the fire continue.
Hiyo moto ilianza saa 7. Saa 7 mimi nimejiekelea na familia. Kidogo kidogo mtoto ndo anaamsha mamake, anamwambia aje, "Mama, uone moshi?" Mimi kuamuka napata nyumba mzima imesaraundiwa na moto. Siniteketeke, ikabidi kusafisha, kuchukua familia mani kwanza niweke kando, hata sishughuliki na vyomba mani. Nikaweka familia kando.
Vitu zilichomeka mingi mpaka hata hatujui wapi. Na hakuna kitu tuliweza kutoa. Mazima moto walikuja late tukiwa tunechomekewa, na tunaomba serikali tuweke mikazo, tuwe hata tukichomekewa tunapata gari haraka toka, kama sisi yote tusaumia.
Sababu tunateseka sana, ndipo zimamoto ya Kitengela ilikuja, ya Kajiado ilikuja, ndio ikatuokoa.
Wahakikishe kwamba wanapofunga biashara wasiwache ikiwa inawaka. na pia wale wanatumia illegal connection ya stima, pia hawa wawe very careful, kwa sababu hizo ndio vitu madhara.
Now moving on, there were intense political activities on the crucial final day of the campaigning to consolidate and vote the December by-election that's supposed to happen on the 15th. Now in Kwale County, ahead of the Tuesday mini poll, campaigning with full swing, and candidates and leaders and their allies making a desperate last-ditch efforts came to a close yesterday ahead of the Tuesday mini polls.
Sasa hivi Dori ameenda, tunataka tena mwana ODM tena mwingine ashike hii kijiji. Tunataka namna hiyo? Tunataka namna hiyo? Na kuna yule ambaye anafaa zaidi kushinda huyo kijana. Huyo Bwana Boga. Boga tunatosha.
Boga hapo na nafasi ya siku za usoni. Watu wa Msambweni na wale kwa jumla, na wahakikishia huyu kijana anaitwa Boga. Boga ni kiongozi ambaye ameona mbali, ndio akishikatu ambaye wanaenda mbali. Hamwezi kuamua mchague kiongozi ambaye maisha yataishia tu muhula huu. Inawezekana namna hiyo? Kwa nini hamtaki kutoa viongozi wa kitaifa?
Elsewhere, Teso South Sub-County Commissioner Willie Cheboy was directed, or rather has directed, chiefs to act decisively upon poaching on riparian land along the river banks. Speaking while addressing teachers of Machakusi Secondary School in Teso Sub-County in Busia, Cheboy, the law directs that distance given in 30 meters away from river banks. However, residents are practicing agriculture along river because and causing deforestation.
We always have come conscious of the environment. This has been there over the years, but in the last few years going backwards, there was a big problem of environmental degradation. Please regulate tree felling so that we don't fell down any tree. Let us only harvest the trees that are still growing, we maintain them for the future. Long planting trees, that is practicing agriculture along the riparian zone. And here in Teso, because of the hills, we have got so many rivers. You see, when people plant crops and they practice agriculture at the banks of the river, we are causing environmental degradation. That is a challenge. We want to ask our chiefs to work with the officers on the ground so that people who are planting or practicing agriculture along the river banks, then they should be told to stop, because there is a law. You can also only do it 30 meters away from the river. But it's a challenge because we are not doing that one.
Now, the county governments have been accused of frustrating the transport sector by creating rules that cause confusion in the sector. The devolved units have also been accused of overstepping their mandate by formulating rules and regulations that do not conform to the Traffic Act at the expense of the operators. According to Alfayo Otuke, the Chief Executive Officer of Safety Plus Consulting Limited, four agency counties are frustrating the sector by introducing numerous rules that work parallel to the Traffic Act.
Thank you very much. Congrats for this. Keep the good pace.
The counties are killing transport business and even killing business. You go to Kisii, for example, you get their rules. You come to Nakuru, you get they have their own rules. You go to Nairobi, you get they have their own rules. Now, if Prestige is going now into the 50 county, will it be complying with every county as it goes through? Is it practical? Is it possible even? We are saying that transport shall be a national fund. 19, we lost 3,400 people. This is according to the statistics of National Transport and Safety Authority. Here we lost around 3,000 people. Now I'm calling upon the Matatu and the PSV sector to work in partnership to reduce these numbers or zero rate it. So when we talk about road accidents, we mean that we need to rise up. People are dying through road accidents and people dying from corona in this country. That's a reality. And let me surprise you. Of all Kenyans dying, 80% are men. I want to give you, go home and do the research. Why men? Of the 3,400 people who died in 2019, the largest chunk was pedestrians.
Relatives to persons living with severe disability in Kisii County have called upon the government to fast-track universal health coverage is their access to quality health care. It's a matter they say has been compounded by the global COVID-19 pandemic. Speaking separately from them, they said access to free essential healthcare services will go a long way in retaining cash into their pockets and funds received by the social welfare program. A social worker, Dominic Obadia, decried stigma attached to disability, saying it has made many parents hide such children.
Develop kwa zake.
Sina nguvu. Watoto wananiwaza. Wanipea chakula.
Ukipewa 2,000, ukienda kwa supermarket haitoshi. Hata sasa ukinunua sukari, ukinunua maziwa, ukinunua chakula ya kukula, hata kitu ya kulalia hatuna.
Watu wananiambia ati huyu mtoto ndiye naweka kwa nyumba. Naendelea kufikiria juu ya huyo mtoto wangu vile nitapata.
I'm urging the national government and all the county governments in this country to come on board to the plight of the people with the disability in this country.
Not very many of them can be able to access services in relation to having the NHIF cards for them to be made their medical bills once they are in need.
There are also some cash for extreme cases, and these ones have been identified through our chiefs and Nyumba Kumi, and they are getting every week 1,000. It's true that the government has been focusing in terms of expanding the number, the coverage, rather than increasing the figure.
Now, for decades, women have been associated with household labor roles, and the stay-at-home moms have continued fighting for validation as part of them towards economic development, both in their families and nationally. Things may not be the same for them after various groups from 14 counties teamed up to form a national group termed HomeNet Kenya to better fight for their space. Some of them engage in production of valuable items made through hand skills to earn a living, as Joan Minor reports.
Stay-at-home mothers from 14 different counties in the country have come and formed an outfit dubbed HomeNet Kenya. The group aims at fighting for their validation as part of the people contributing towards development as mothers. Some of them engage in production of valuable items made through skills such as knitting, beadwork, painting, carving and pottery, among others.
There's little recognition when it comes to home-based workers, and that is why we are gathering here today to amplify our voices as equal workers just like any other profession.
Phyllis Kerubo is a member of Sanata Women Group based in Gilgil, Nakuru County. Members came together in 2010 seeking to give their activities a bearing. Today, the group has been able to get international markets for their products.
Tunafanya beading na tunashona bags, tunashona manguo na hizo vitu zetu zote tuseme kama beads tunauza nje.
Despite their favorable outcome, the women outlined the challenges they products, including exploitation by middlemen, lack of regulatory framework to harmonize their prices, and most Kenyans looking down on locally made products while they are willing to pay more for imported ones, as HomeNet chairlady Jemima Awor explains.
We also have issues around marketing, and we also have issues around price fluctuations in different areas. So as we organized as home-based workers, we have the chance to come in agreement, have some coding for our products, and let the whole area know that we have flat rates for our product, always having different prices.
In the African continent, the roles of women are classified based on the local cultural context, However, the dynamics of these mainstreamed cultures have started changing, and now stay-at-home mothers do not necessarily spend their times doing household chores. Maina, TV47.
Now it's time now we take a short break here, but do not go too far. When we come back, we'll have more news for you. Remember, you can interact with us on our social media platforms on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter is at TV47 Kenya. We'll be back.
Wakasema atakuwa natukata 20% na hatukukubaliana nao.
We want our money.
As the 30-year-old business continued to grow, so did the chaos over the running of the affairs of the company.
Two people are the ones who have brought another to Tuskys. They were the CEO and one of the directors.
So those problems that Tuskys is facing right now did not begin now.
There will be expensive legal battles, strikes from the employees. This will change the face of the retail giant for good.
Wakasema atakuwa natukata 20% na hatukukubaliana nao.
Huku maduka ya Tuskys yakifunguliwa kote nchini, ugomvi na kutosikizana kati ya viongozi wa duka hili kukaibuka.
Two people are the ones who have brought another to Tuskys. They were the CEO and one of the directors.
So that Tuskys is facing right now did not begin now.
Hali hii itashuhudiwa kwa miaka mingi, huku safari ya hasara anga.
Wakasema atakuwa natukata 20% na hatukukubaliana nao.
We want our money.
As the 30-year-old business continued to grow, so did the chaos over the running of the affairs of the company.
Two people are the ones who have brought another to Tuskys. They were the CEO and one of the directors.
So those problems that Tuskys is facing right now did not begin now.
There will be expensive legal battles, strikes from the employees. This will change the face of the retail giant for good.
Wakasema atakuwa natukata 20% na hatukukubaliana nao.
We want our money.
Huku maduka ya Tuskys yakifunguliwa kote nchini, ugomvi na kutosikizana kati ya viongozi wa duka hili kukaibuka.
Wakasema atakuwa natukata 20% na hatukukubaliana nao. We want our money.
Huku maduka ya Tuskys yakifunguliwa kote nchini, ugomvi na kutosikizana kati ya viongozi wa duka hili kukaibuka.
Two people are the ones who have brought another to Tuskys. They were the CEO and one of the directors.
So those problems that Tuskys is facing right now did not begin now.
Hali hii itashuhudiwa kwa miaka mingi, huku safari ya hasara iking'oa nanga.
Wakasema atakuwa natukata 20% na hatukukubaliana nao.
We want our money.
As the 30-year-old business continued to grow, so did the chaos over the running of the affairs of the company.
Two people are the ones who have brought another to Tuskys. They were the CEO and one of the directors.
So those problems that Tuskys is facing right now did not.
There will be expensive legal battles, strikes from the employees. This will change the face of the retail giant for good.
Wakasema atakuwa natukata 20% na hatukukubaliana nao.
We want our money.
Huku maduka ya Tuskys yakifunguliwa kote nchini, ugomvi na kutosikizana kati ya viongozi wa duka hili kukaibuka.
Two people are the ones who brought a dog to Tuskys. The CEO and one of the directors.
So those problems that Tuskys is facing right now did not begin now.
Hali hii itashuhudiwa kwa miaka mingi, huku safari ya hasara iking'oa nanga.
Wakasema watakuwa natukata 20% na hatukukubaliana nao.
We want our money.
As the 30-year-old business continued to grow, so did the chaos over the running of the affair.
Two people are the ones who brought a dog to Tuskys. The CEO and one of the directors.
So those problems that Tuskys is facing right now did not begin now.
There will be expensive legal battles, strikes from the employees. This will change the face of the retail giant for good.
Wakasema na hatukukubaliana nao.
We want our money.
Huku maduka ya Tuskys yakifunguliwa kote nchini, ugomvi na kutosikizana kati ya viongozi wa duka hili kukaibuka.
Two people are the ones who brought a dog to Tuskys. The CEO and one of the directors.
So those problems that Tuskys is facing right now did not begin now.
Hali hii itashuhudiwa kwa miaka mingi, huku safari ya hasara iking'oa nanga.
Wakasema watakuwa natukata 20% na hatukukubaliana nao.
We want our money.
As the 30-year-old business continued to grow, so did the chaos over the running of the affairs of the company.
Two people are the ones who brought a dog to Tuskys. The CEO and one of the directors.
So those problems that Tuskys is facing right now did not begin now.
Thank you for staying tuned to TV47. Remember, this is the home of untold stories, and you're receiving this bulletin from County 001. Welcome back. Now, following Muhuri Day celebrations in the counties due to the ravaging COVID-19 pandemic, Kenyans marked the 57th anniversary of when the country became a republic in their union. Students and teachers at Rift Valley Institute of Science and Technology in Nakuru County, who would have spent their day at Afra Stadium, embarked on an awareness campaign. Fatma Ngwena has the details.
Armed with banners and plaques, the Rift Valley Institute of Science and Technology RVIST students and teachers braved the scorching sun and dusty roads as they embarked on an awareness campaign against the spread of COVID-19 by sensitizing Rongai residents on safety measures to curb the virus.
Vizuri tusherekee kwa njia ya kufikiria wenzetu wale hawajajua ya kwamba COVID ni real.
The school principal Dan Mutai said that the move was necessitated by the continued ignorance by many Kenyans, thereby impeding efforts by the health workers and government to contain the virus. The institution targeted Ngata area, which hosts of students in private hostels who interact on a daily basis with the surrounding community.
Na tukaonelea kwamba ni vyema tutembee tu na wanafunzi, walimu na wafanyakazi wote ili tutangaze ya kwamba ni vyema kufuata maagizo ya Ministry of Health.
The college head challenged the community to observe the basic measures given by the Ministry of Health, citing the high cost of treatment after contracting the virus as compared to the low cost of preventive measures.
Ukichukua barakoa ya shilingi 10 na uitumie siku 15, kama kila mtu angetumia 15 20, corona tutamaliza. Na ni shilingi 10 tu peke yake.
Majority of tertiary learning institutions are set to start closing down for this break beginning end of next week And according to Mutai, the closure of such facilities and travel of students back to their homes may be a weak link through which the viral disease may spread. However, he assured the students of their safety on their return, stating that they have invested heavily in ensuring that the institution is compliant with given guidelines. Fatma Ngwena, T47.
Well, now in a few minutes we'll be going to sports news, but remember you can interact with us on our social media platforms on Facebook, Instagram and Twitter is at TV47 Kenya, or if you're watching us on your television, we are 68 on DSTV and also on Signet. We are on GoTV and StarTimes Decoder. Now let me just take a look at some of the comments you sent here on Facebook. There is one, Marwa Ongech says, I'm tuned from Kisumu. Here there is David Okech says, I'm watching the bulletin 001. You guys have done a great job with the news studios. Okay, there's a lot that he says there. There's also another text here from one Spanish